interrupt you? I have a question.
Absolutely, you can.
This is a big question that I did not think of asking until just now.
Totally.
Do you consider yourself a filmmaker?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
I think we should go lights, camera,
Okay.
carpool.
Hi everyone, welcome to Lights
Camera.
Carpool.
Way better.
Thank you.
And we have with us a very special guest today. We've got Lucas Berg with us today. I'm gonna put like
And we'll
sitcom
come back
applause.
to it. Hey.
Let's go. Very special guest is pretty light considering I've known this guy for way longer than the other special guest, but it's fine. I'll take special guests. It's fine.
Yeah, Lucas, how long have we known each other?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I can't remember a time in my life where I haven't known you. Is
Yeah,
that fair
because
to
our
say?
parents knew each other,
Yeah.
right?
Oh.
So I guess you're just ingrained in there.
Yeah, both of our parents sort of grew up in the arts,
Yeah.
or we grew up in the arts because our parents
Because of our
were in
parents.
the arts.
Yes, correct.
Which is how we got in the room together.
Yeah. Grew up backstage, pretty
This
much.
is true. And then we did sports together for a long
A
time.
long time.
And there wasn't a lot of arts. It was there, but not.
It can be there.
It can be there.
Actually,
on
that's
occasion.
kind of part of my platform. I like how the arts and sports intersect.
right.
Kind of like my whole thing.
And we will get there.
After high school, how soon do you start working with? Who are you
Nikki
working?
Cash.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I start working.
So let's
with
talk
him-
about. Let's just briefly. So we're in
intro
high
that.
school,
Yeah.
Right.
right? We both go to the Nyack High School film program. There's a film
Mhm.
program at Nyack High School
Sorry,
that we both came up through.
Shout out.
Shout out Nyack.
Yep, yeah.
Why did you? So I don't think you ever had. I knew when I was fairly young that I wanted to be a filmmaker. Like that was the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had that same experience, but you got into you went to the film program at Nyack, and I think that helped and that sort of got you to where you needed to be in order to work for this famous TikToker.
Absolutely. Do you want me to break that down?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's
So
break it down.
yeah, I mean, I kind of think it's a better idea to just start with why I even joined the film program in the first place, which was it all stems back to sports, but growing up, I was your stereotypical 12-year-old. I'm gonna play for the Yankees one day, and I'm gonna be the next Derek Jeter, and like that's who I am, and I wouldn't let anybody tell me no. And then I let myself tell myself no, and realized, oh shoot, I'm not gonna be a professional athlete. And as a result, I kind of shifted to, well, I know I always want to be around sports somehow, and I also love this kind of facet of broadcasting and just sports media. I've always loved it, specifically certain realms of it. And I joined in my freshman year of high school. I joined the film class just because I thought it's interesting, and I thought every school had a state-of-the-art, awesome, film studio that anybody, had growing up and had access to. So that was really, really cool. And then quickly realized, oh no, I can intersect this with sports, and that's awesome, and I like doing that. But also, this is just awesome in itself, and I really like this. And going into my senior year, I was going on all these college tours, touring media departments and meeting with faculty and whatnot. And they're like, yeah, so, what have you done so far? And what's your portfolio looking like? And I'm like, oh, nothing, right? Like I literally had done nothing. So I'm like, shoot, I text Miss V, I text Caitlin, the film teacher, and I say,
You
hey,
had nothing? How did you have nothing? You went through the whole program.
nothing that I would be proud of showing people on that basis, right? Like I had things. Junior year, I wrote a short screenplay, and it was chosen to be like our field trip filming day. And this is my first time ever making any kind of short film on this level.
There's video of it. I have video.
Yeah, you can probably throw it up.
Yeah, we'll throw it in there.
And I got all excited because I pitched it to my class, and everybody picked mine. I'm like, wow. And we're filming all around Nyack, at my house and in town and all these different places, and I'm all excited about it. And I'm directing, and it's my first time ever doing that. And it's a learning experience, as you guys can probably attest to your first time directing, but it's fun, and I enjoy it. And then I get in the editing room, I edit it, I call Miss V, and I'm like, I finished. We watch it together for the first time, and I go, oh my god, that's the worst thing anyone's ever done, ever. Like, no one can see this. And she's like, no, it's fine. It's the first draft. You can edit. I'm like, yeah, sure. No one can see this. Never. Literally, no one can ever see this. But that summer, going into my senior year, I'm like, shoot, I have all these ideas. I've always had ideas, but I actually want to put something into action. So I text Miss V and I say, hey, I have this great idea. At least I think it's great. Where I can combine the sports media elements I want to do, and I can...
Oh, I know where you're going. I was like, where are you going with
I can
this?
combine the sports media elements I want to do, but I can make this kind of my senior year project, and it can be a thing that involves a lot of people, because I've taken the advanced class before, so it's my second time taking it. And I come up with this idea for, we're the Nyack Red Hawks, by the way, that is our team name.
Mm-hmm.
The Red Hawk Roundup,
Mm-hmm.
where every week I would either interview different athletes, or maybe it was just by myself. We kind of grew into that, and just recap one sport and how they were doing in Nyack at the time. But the biggest part about it was it had to have my creative flair to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've seen people try things where they do a similar thing, and it's just like, hello, I'm this person. This team won. This team lost. This team plays. And it's so boring, and I hate
He's
that.
talking about every time I've ever done a talk show.
Low-key.
This is the first one that I have not. This is the first one that I've done that
I'm
has
not.
not been
I'm
that.
not so much referring to you. I'm just referring to kids will say, "Oh, I wanna start something. I think it'll be cool," and then get nervous,
Yeah.
maybe because they're performing to an audience or whatever it is about. Just I don't want to embarrass myself, so I'm gonna water it down so much, right? And I hate the idea of that. I think that's so boring. And I told myself, I just whatever I do, whatever I write, whatever I perform, because I would write it, star in it, edit it.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be uniquely me. Like, it's got to be. I think that's part of my
What did that like mean?
lore. I well, I guess first and foremost, Lucas Berg style of cringy, wholesome humor.
Mm.
Got to be in there. Absolutely. My favorite bit I ever did is saying this team is on fire, and then like a little PNG of a Minecraft fire flares up, and then I like put it out. Like that kind of thing. I just think it needs to be, I don't know, it just needs to be fun. I don't care if it's cringy or not, it just needs to be fun and entertaining. There is, oh yeah, that is not a dead end.
Don't tell me.
I know, I'm sorry. So, long-winded way of saying, I'm doing this show, and it's really, really fun. Probably the most rewarding thing, I don't know, I've ever done. It was just so cool getting so many people involved, and having Nick, who is shooting your
my senior thesis.
Maybe a future podcast guest, I don't know. You can cut that out if you don't want him. And he would, film it for me and light it, and I would edit it, and we'd put it out, and it's not like it gained the most traction, but people watched it. It was really fun.
Well, they're bringing it back this year.
And now they're bringing it back. And I think I met with them. I loved them. I think that they are very creative, and I think that they have a very good idea for what they want to do, and I think that they're more than capable of pulling it off right. They just got to do it.
Right.
They made one intro one where they just kind of talked me up for a bit, and then they haven't done anything since. So hopefully,
What do you think? My question is, so I feel like there was a period of time when we were in high school where we would talk about doing a lot of really cool things and then never do any of the really cool things.
Absolutely.
Where and how did that change? Where do you think that changed? And yeah, what triggered that change for you? How were you able to go from just talking about a thing and never doing it to now you're doing a thing?
Was
Well,
it college apps?
I wanna preface by saying I still struggle with that a lot.
Okay.
I think I have a lot of ideas for things that I think would be really cool, and then I just don't do them out of either time or not committing to things, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to filming and making content that I really want to make.
Yep.
Yes, it kind of was that deadline of college. And I think another thing is things get more real for me, and this is something I'm still working on, when I say them to other people and I put it out there and tell people I'm going to do something. Well, now I have to do it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't let them down, and I'm going to be working with other people. Okay, well, now it has to happen.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of the ideas I have are kind of just solo things that no one's holding me accountable for, and if
Right.
no one is, then sorry, it's kind of taking...
And would you say that
Back
trick
for
is
me.
that something that you feel like is applicable to? Because I feel the exact same way.
Yeah.
Why do you think I brought her?
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing with my podcast. I knew I've
Yeah.
always wanted to have a podcast, but I waited until I got to school. At the tail end of my senior year, I see that this guy, Nicky Cass, who on Instagram was blowing up, TikTok's blowing up, and I noticed in some of his videos that that's Nyack High School in the background. And then I like ask around, I'm like, oh my God, he went here. He graduated 5 years before me, 4 years before you. And I am like, shoot, what a great guest that would be. Not just for the show and for people to watch it, but for a potential networking opportunity, absolutely.
Right.
So I reach out, he does not respond. Miss V reaches out, and he responds to her from like the Nyack Film Account.
Right.
The Nyack Film account. And he responds, and he's like, absolutely, I would love to. He comes in, we film an awesome segment where I interview him for a long time, but right at the tail end, I'm like, hey, if you ever need any help or anything, you know, need an intern, editor, whatever it is, I would be available. I think that'd be cool. And he's like, yeah, we'll be in touch. He sends me like some raw footage of him golfing, and says just like no special effects, no nothing, just cut this up and chop it up into a 60-second story. And storytelling, I think, is my forte. So I did that, and he loved it.
Wait, is he auditioning you?
Pretty
Is that
much.
what that was?
It's literally what that was.
Okay.
Yeah. He was just testing me out, and I passed, I guess. And I guess because fast forward 2.5-ish years later, I didn't know this at the time. I became his first full-time employee ever of his company.
Right.
And would start just going on all these adventures with him. And, you know, since then I've gone and worked with him at Yankee Stadium. I've gone and worked with him in Florida at all these MLB team spring training facilities, and gone to celebrity softball events and meetings with really cool people that I otherwise never would have met this young. So owe a lot to him, and that's how that happened. And it's been a real great thing.
Nicky Cass, is he working with him?
Yep.
Is wildly different than anything you were doing before.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
like,
yeah.
How much did that shift your perspective on the projects that were coming on?
It did a lot, because it was my first foray into actually kind of working.
Yeah.
In any sense. I mean, I had a lot of doubt. Going in, because I was excited about this job, but also at the same time, and still to this day, I mean, it's gone away a little bit, but so much self-doubt about my own abilities as a...
I just realized you were really dark almost then.
Okay.
About my abilities as a filmmaker or videographer.
Can I interrupt you? I have a question.
Absolutely, you can.
This is a big question
Yeah.
that I did not think of asking until just now.
Totally.
Do you consider yourself a filmmaker?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
Because I asked you this question in episode 1.
And it took like 20 minutes to answer.
I've listened. I can shorten that.
Right.
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say that I am.
Why?
Me personally, if my job was just what I did for Nicky Cass, which was film him shooting a golf round and then edit it together, I probably would say no. No, I would say yes. I would say yes, even if that was the case too.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. What are films? Films are stories. And my favorite thing, even if sometimes certain videos that I can maybe think are repetitive or whatever it is, it ultimately comes down to telling a story. And that's my favorite thing about being creative, is telling a story. And that's just something I got from my dad. And regardless if it's quote unquote good, art is subjective, whatever, regardless if it's the standard that some people think it needs to meet or whatever it is, I think a lot of things can be classified as films just because you're telling a story. And I have felt this immense satisfaction just from putting together and compiling a 20-minute video of a guy playing golf, because I looked at it and I watched it at the end and I'm like, whoa, that's not just a 20-minute video of a guy playing golf, though. That's a journey he just went on. He started thinking, how is this gonna go for me? How is today gonna be? And then we go on this journey with him. It's like you're in there playing the round with him. And if that's not a film, then I guess I don't know what is. And I felt immense satisfaction making that video.
Do you think that you Because I was thinking that you went from not making a lot of things on the regular to pumping out like a bunch of stuff all of the time.
Yes.
But I'm also thinking about, I'm gonna Red Hawk Roundup. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Like, and how important it was to you to put your own flair on it.
Yes.
Do you think that carries over with Nikki Cass stuff? And if not, is that a struggle? And
yeah, that's a great question. The bigger videos, I was allowed to have a much more creative liberty. So like my favorite videos to ever make, Nikki Breaks 90. This whole series of him just trying to break 90 in golf.
Yeah.
But sometimes it was challenging. But I don't know, it's a give and take thing. Especially when it'd be very different if those were my videos, but they're not, they're his.
Right.
But is there any, I guess, and maybe not, like is it interesting to try to create through somebody else's like lens? Is that fulfilling in any kind of way?
Yes. Well, yes to both.
Cool.
It is interesting trying to figure out what somebody else wants.
Yeah.
And also trying to figure out it's trust is a two-way street, so trying to figure out if we have each other's trust that I can maybe go do this thing on my own individually, and he can trust that I'll be able to pull it off, or maybe not, or vice versa, that he'll do something in the video and just know that I know how to do with it, whatever it is.
Can I point out too, though, that you said at the beginning that you kind of had like imposter syndrome, like didn't feel like you could, and now you're making critiques, and I feel like that is a learning curve. Like that's awesome.
That's a fair point. I guess
That's Jordan. That's Jordan's car. Jordan just hit my bus. I'm not the only one that saw that, right?
I don't know what his car looks like.
That was Jordan.
That's
Bobby, you're
amazing.
Right.
I'm so happy for him
Whatever,
and you,
guys.
and hope you guys live a long and happy life together.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a great point. I haven't really thought about it like that, in the sense that I felt all this imposter syndrome, and then I don't know, a year and a half later, I'm like, I don't know if I would do this. And that comes from, they were very, very helpful in asking my opinion in a lot of things, right? I also know that I'm not exactly his target audience, right? Like half his videos are targeted at Italian kids growing up Italian. So I don't know anything about
Most
that.
of his videos are him doing Italian impressions.
With their golf videos?
It ranges. There's Italian impressions, there's golf videos, there's a lot of baseball videos. He ranges.
Cool.
But I would say the big moneymaker for a while was the dad impression.
Yeah.
Like the Italian dad impression. They were so helpful in helping me find my own confidence, just in being able to give feedback and critique, even if they are, little 30-second videos, where a dad is like, hey,
I'm walking over here.
no, I didn't want to say that one. It's so easy to say. Whatever it is. But yeah, so
I have a kind of I want to bring us back to sort of the through line of this episode, and the thing that I think Hope was beginning to poke at a little bit, which is, so now you are at present day.
I am.
And you
Gotta live in the present.
don't really work for Nikki Cass anymore. You do as an independent contractor.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're kind of beginning to jump off into a place where you're doing your own thing.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Which we've gone from, to jump off of Hope's point, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing, to I know what I'm doing and I know that I want to do my own thing.
Yeah.
Right, but also you were saying that like being pushed to like give critique being pushed to offer your actual creative opinion. I was wondering if that has anything to do with you now finding your niche, which to my knowledge is what's happening with the new podcast, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah,
I would say I was also, wow, I guess I didn't even mention this. I was also like the producer of their podcast, right? Like they had a podcast, I produced it, I filmed,
right.
I filmed it, edited it, set everything up, right? Like when we went to Florida, I did podcasts with MLB players. I was, miking them up, and it was really cool.
Right.
That gave me so much confidence to know how to set everything up and do everything way better now. It also gave me a lot of confidence to know what I would do differently myself. So, and not just because they had a baseball podcast and I would do I'm doing a running podcast, but just because what did I like about that? What did I not like about it? I'm very excited that I know what I'm doing, and I think I have a very good lens.
My question is, though, what is... Everything we've talked about thus far has been you being, for one reason or another, an external circumstance, whether it be college or Nikki Cass or whatever, you go and do a thing, and now you learn something about yourself and what you are interested in.
Yeah.
Now we are at a spot where you are willingly jumping into a new thing that there is nobody over that. There's nobody setting up the frame in which you are operating creatively.
Yeah.
And I guess my kind of question that I don't know if I fully hope might have a better sort of way to verbalize this, but just like, how are you creating your own frame? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I see what you're saying in the sense of my frame being
like your creative structure and understanding who you are as a creative.
Yeah.
Has always been influenced by what other people are asking of you, and now you're asking things of yourself.
Yeah.
Because
okay.
you're trying
Yes.
to do your
Yeah.
own thing.
I mean, not always though. The one part that wasn't was the Red Hawk Roundup, which is where I think I learned the most about myself.
Sure.
And what I wanted to do, and who I am as
Right.
a creative. So now, I don't know. I've maintained one thing forever, and that is, I think there's a lot to be said. I've always wanted a platform to say what I'm about to say, so I'm excited to
Go
say
for
it.
it.
But I think there's a lot to be said for being a careful observer and consumer. And this is gonna sound weird at first, but I think I'm going somewhere with it, of the internet and YouTube. But let me really break that down, which is, I've been watching as a kid, YouTube videos, let's say, or whatever it is, for 15 years, right? I don't know,
Right.
however, since I was conscious, I guess. And I've just learned subconsciously what I think are the do's and don'ts of making content. And ultimately what it stems to is, and it's easy to say now when I'm living with my parents and they're paying for my college and whatnot, is artistic integrity is so freaking important to me. And just making what you want to make, and not having the influence of others telling you to do that, because the amount of times I've just cringed at watching YouTube as a platform, which always has been my favorite platform, change in the corporatization of it, and how it's gone from YouTube to the higher ups tube, if that.
The higher ups.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Yeah,
else to
no,
word
but I know
that.
what you mean. Yeah.
It's really bad, and I think the frame I've always loved to operate in is just, I don't even know if this is a genre, but just independent creators are just the best. I don't even know if this answers this question, but it's I genuinely can't get enough of just watching people building their own thing from the ground up and finding their niche, finding their community, finding their people, and then just kind of running with that and not letting anything else tamper them. I guess the frame that I've always been trying to find, and where I'm always trying to operate, is just to find my group of people who understand what I'm trying to say and kind of vibe with that and would rock with that. And as I head into this really, really unknown chapter of my career, where I'm just kind of trying to build up my own whatever this is, I guess the goal has always just been trying to find like-minded people who believe, and in this case it's about running, right? The media stuff I'm trying to do is people who are passionate, want to get better, but also just love it for what it is in the community, and don't want it to be toxic, and just want to enjoy the process of getting better that I love so much. That's my favorite thing about the sport.
Self-improvement.
Yeah. And I love community. And I think, to answer in a roundabout way, to answer your question of what's my creative frame.
Or you don't even need to know it all.
I really like.
But what do you come back to?
I really like building a community. I think that's.
Right.
I really like the idea of building a community, and I've always been interested in that. So
that's what you come back to when you're...
Yeah, it's artistic integrity and building a
Podcast
community.
ends real quick.
Yeah, and so I guess that's where we can kind of segue into my own podcast.
Yeah, I guess, what is next for you? And you're bringing back the podcast. I like to think part of you decided to bring back the podcast because we have our own podcast now.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay.
But
Right.
So yeah, what's next for me? Well, to answer your question of what's next for me, I'm gonna tell you exactly what I just did, because that is great. I'm gonna tell you about the future. I'm gonna tell you about the past.
Okay.
But this past semester, I actually was very satisfied in being the social media director and overseer for my team, my cross country team, the Oneonta cross country team.
Right.
Every post he used to tell them to make was me, and videos and photos. That was deeply rewarding, but it was my whole content creation life, right? Like that's the only thing I could really focus on. Bringing back the podcast is big for me because that's the passion project. That's what I've been wanting to do for a while. I love, as you can tell, and this is not the space for it, talking about running, all the nitty gritty things that come with it. So, and so does my co-host Noah. And right now we just enjoy talking to people in our conference, in our region, in the area, just about it, and hopefully can spread out. The thing that always made me upset about our podcast is how people are like, oh, it's better just getting it out than like having it be very high quality. But like some of the episodes, they're tough. They're tough watches. Couldn't find a camera, couldn't find a microphone or whatnot, and just like going and popping down my GoPro in one of our teammates' like houses.
Hey, nothing wrong with shooting a podcast on GoPro.
No, I know, but one GoPro in a house with your phone recording a voice memo as...
Hey, nothing wrong with
no labs, nothing, just the raw voice memo, while you could hear like voices of a guy playing like Call of Duty in the background, because like it's just picking up everything.
Is that Connor's mom?
It is Connor's mom.
Bro,
don't say hi.
Lock in.
And to now, and this is where it comes back to the Nikki Cass thing, I've produced my own podcast, not to toot my own horn. I think they look and sound pretty great, and that's just learning. And I had access to way better equipment with him.
Right.
But now that I can rent equipment from the school, I think I know exactly what I'm going to do. I know exactly what I want to do with these podcasts, where I want to set them up, how I want to film them. I think they're going to be great. I just need to do it.
Right.
But my co-host Noah, who knows nothing about this world, he likes to run, and he's a dietetics major, right? Like he's a food guy. He's like, hey, teach me how to edit. Teach me how to make. Well, he's also made the thumbnails for our podcast before.
Gotcha.
So like on like Canva, he's no pro by any means, but he's done a great job.
Love Canva.
But he's like, yeah, teach me how to make these reels or something, because I want to help out. So with the help of him and our loyal fan base of 20 people, I don't know, I'm really excited. I just, regardless of how many people watch it, it's creatively fulfilling to do something I want to do and be proud of something. Ultimately, nothing really beats that feeling of hitting export I use Premiere. I know. I
don't want to talk about it.
Whatever.
It pisses me off.
I've always been a
I'm
Premiere.
a Da Vinci guy.
Yeah.
Hopes doesn't have an editor.
I've always been a Premiere guy. I think it's just the easiest layout in
that
my
is
space.
The worst reason to be a Premiere advocate.
Personally.
No. You're wrong, and
I'm
that's
not
okay. Yeah. Whatever.
Guys, in the comments below, let me know what you think about editing softwares. Da
Vinci is such an easier layout. I'm sorry, we won't get into it. It's not what the podcast is about.
But there's nothing more. Whatever freaking software you're on, there's nothing more fulfilling. Oh, that's Sam. He's a better run.
Oh my goodness, dude, we're seeing everybody today.
I know. So nothing more fulfilling than
goat.
Sam. Nothing more fulfilling than whatever software you're on, hitting export and just being proud of what you made.
Yeah.
And ultimately, if you're making a feature film or you're making a 60-second reel, that feeling of proudness, the levels of it vary, but that feeling of proudness is
There's a pride in setting out to do a thing, that being making the thing,
Yep.
And then making something, and then accomplishing it, like having seen it through all the way to the end.
Just been chasing that high.
Just been chasing that high
ever since I started. Yeah.
I feel like we need a question. For moving forward, we should have a question that that is not a film question that we ask at the end of every podcast episode.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
At the end of every Roadhog Roundup episode, I would ask the guests like this out of nowhere incredibly deep question that they were not prepared for. Like we'd be like, how's the season going? What's like the meaning of life?
Yeah.
And they would not be prepared.
I have a friend that always throws out, what do you think happens after you die?
Yeah.
So we need one of those.
Okay. I don't think there's anything. What would you do in a zombie
apocalypse? No. How would you survive a zombie apocalypse? Go super fast, rapid fire answer.
Yeah. This is like a real thing?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna stock up on all the food. Okay. I'm gonna take shelter in my basement. My basement will be home base. Like the basement in my home will be home base, right? I'm gonna stockpile everything. Everything in my house goes in there, right? And then lock all the doors, right? What about
your family?
They'll come too.
Right. Sorry.
If the zombies have any reason to like break the windows, which they probably can't, they're slow and stupid and weak, but they're not getting into my house, right? So I'm still gonna take refuge in the basement. They're not getting into the house. Yeah. No, they're not even gonna know anyone's in there because we're in the basement. They're not gonna see any movement in the upper regions of the house. At some point, maybe just for feeling fun, just because I'm feeling fun, I'll take like a couple like knives and whatnot and just go out and start stabbing and killing. They're not zombie apocalypses. Hot take: zombie apocalypses are not scary. They are slow, stupid, weak creatures that are dead. Don't be scared. Be excited for when it happens. You can just like go out and like kill things. I don't know. Not that anybody wants to kill things or anything, but it's just it's probably a good time, right? It's probably a good time. So not only, this is what the great thing to leave us on. Don't survive the zombie apocalypse. Thrive in the zombie apocalypse.
Right. All right. Well, thank you, Lucas. All right.
No problem.
This is like going to be a podcast episode on an island of its own because we won't be able to record another episode for a couple weeks because Hope is going away. She's going away. She's going to fight the zombies.
Yeah. In
Belgium. So, this will be a one-off episode, and then when we get back to school, we're going to start recording them. We have a lot of guests lined up.
Yeah.
Literally.
So many, actually.
There's so many people who want to be on this podcast who we are going to get on this podcast. We might have our first duo on the podcast. That's going to be very exciting. But until then, we will see you guys later. Bye, guys.
It's crazy that I got on before all that.
That was awesome. That was really good.